Welcome to Dicejunkies, and this is Random Encounters, Blast to the Past. I'm here with
Q.
And I'm Xenodamus. Hope you enjoy. We've got this week's list with a little bit of modification from the things that we rolled last time. And bam, there's the webcam. You can reveal the dice now, sir.
The dice.
Alright.
Go ahead, man.
And you want me to roll first?
Sometimes you gotta actually start us off.
Ooh. Alright. Let's see what we get here. 8. Favorite video game movies. What movies have we not talked about?
Wow, I gotta stop and go like, favorite? Okay, I gotta think of one that was
that's
good
right.
first.
We did horrible video game movies last time, didn't we?
I know, so now it's like, well, what was one that was awesome?
What was it good? Resident Evil. I liked Resident Evil. The first one.
Really? Like, I actually have to stop for a moment, like, you being serious?
Yeah, no, I like the first Resident Evil, man.
Okay, I liked the dungeon. Wait a minute, that's not a video game. like not the first one, but the one that came out on Sci-Fi Channel, Dungeons & Dragons movie. But darn, was there a good video game movie other than Resident Evil? Sucked too, though.
Resident Evil was not that bad.
You know what? Screw it. I'm gonna just throw this one out here because it'll be fun. I liked Doom.
You liked Doom, really?
I thought it was hilarious.
Wait. You're gonna look at me funny because I liked Resident Evil, and you're gonna say you like Doom.
I'm doing that. I'm trolling. Final Fantasy Advent Children. That I really did like.
Oh, okay.
Not because it had a good story. It was just I finally got to see an awesome Sephiroth Cloud battle. Like, not one that's in your head.
Yeah, I watched it. I didn't really care for it.
To me, it's the ending you get in it for. You get in it to see that battle that I thought should have been at the end of Final Fantasy VII. The one flaw in Final Fantasy VII in me was that I felt that there should have been a proper one-on-one fight between Cloud and Sephiroth. And I got it in Kingdom Hearts a bit. That I did it. You know, like, I got to go at them, but I really wanted to see it. Advent Children has an awesome climax.
All right.
Rest of the movie, There you go. Okay, one. I just said Doom because I do it. It's enthusiastic. People were like, you like Doom? They're like, dude, it was a first-person shooter. There wasn't a story beyond. I am Marine. I shoot demons.
Like saying the Max Payne movie was good, you know.
The Max Payne movie was
entertaining. Was horrible. It was like I wish I would have thought about the Max Payne movie when we talked about movies. Because it just popped in my head, and I was like, when you were talking about...
Dude, if I'd have thought about it, I would have said it Doom for the bad movies.
Yeah.
6.
6 is the return of the 80s.
Now, this one got on the list because we noticed a strong recurring theme of 80s, specifically the 80s or near 80s, becoming really popular and material from it coming back. Of course, this includes things like not just Ready Player One, but Stranger Things, which honestly I think would not have done nearly as well had it been set in a different time period. I believe a lot of that appeal was they set it in the 80s. And even the remake of It, even though they basically did a reboot, they still tried to set it with that 80s style theme instead of going modern, which is what I actually thought they were going to do. Because to me, I'm going like, if you're going to reboot it, go ahead and, just reboot it, do a whole new thing. Mm-hmm. But this is really becoming popular, and
so I mean, what makes you think? Why do you think the 80s has become so popular again? I mean,
I think it's because when you look at different time periods, it's one of the most recognizable time periods for its personality. It really is the 80s. If I were to sit here and tell you, like, the 90s, you'd have to think as you're doing now to go like, what specifically happened in the 90s that would stand out?
I think plenty of things happened in the 90s.
But to me, I think the crowd recognition leans more toward the 80s. I think the 80s has one of the biggest immediate senses of recognition for people. And for some reason, it's still kind of cool, despite being retro. You go a little further back, it gets a little past most people's time, a little too retro. You move a little bit forward some, and it's too close to our current time that it's still considered outdated. The 80s seems to be in the sweet spot of being old enough to be vintage almost and still cool without being... way past. People are like, I don't know anything about that. Plus, let's be honest, dude, the 80s were a wild time. I mean, a lot of stuff in the 80s was just kind of had its own personality.
All right. Here's what I think. So, where's the most of your money? Age range?
Probably in the middle age group.
Middle age.
Mm-hmm.
What did most middle-aged people, live through? The 80s. That's their childhood. That's their nostalgia.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where the money is.
True, but don't forget now, we got a lot. We've been to these cons. There's a lot of people that are in it that know quite a bit about the 80s that are in the younger demographic that went back. Now, it might be because we're passing it on. It may be
that's also those middle-aged people are their parents. So.
And they kind of pass it on to the kids, huh?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that could be it. But it seems to be a very lucrative time range right now to set something in. It's very popular.
But I bet you in about 10 more years, the 90s will be a big hit again.
I don't know, man. I actually went and looked it up.
Everybody will be singing, Kurt Cobain songs, Nirvana and Foo Fighters. And, 90s was the genre, the decade of great music, so...
Oh man, now that's an inflammatory. There are some people that argue that. I'm not saying me, but there's some people like the 80s, the 90s. You know what I say? I'm like,
so
it was all good. But no. So but it's a big thing that we've just noticed this pattern that is even some of the games I can't name off the top of my head, but I've seen a few games that are like pulling that 80s style feel into them. Specifically. So. Right now, it seems to be the sweet era.
Well, you got books as well that have been doing it. And, of course, now books that have been doing it are getting movies made after them,
one of the biggest complaints about Ready Player One is people are like, I see stuff from the 90s in there. And I'm like, whoa, wow, these guys are... I didn't even know the difference. I was like, I kind of wrapped the 70s, 80s, and 90s all up into one time frame.
But, honestly, that isn't the part about the movie trailer that bothered me because I was like, that sort of makes sense. You're gonna have genres and iconic characters throughout the decades.
True.
If you're gonna have that type of system, so
what did bother you? You said that didn't bother you about the trailer. What did bother you?
Well, we've already discussed this. I didn't like
some of these people are new.
I don't like a lot of the. It didn't match the book. A lot of the scenes. So.
Oh, that's true. You rolling again, or you gonna let Google do it?
I'll roll one more, and then we'll let Google. We'll do our normal 4, even though Damien's not here and we don't have guests. So, 18. Of course, retelling of classics, which almost sort of goes.
Well, it goes into a reboot thing where people grab some of our favorite materials and decide we're going to put it on. Oh, no, wait a minute. I remember what this came from.
Well, this one actually came from the Disney stuff with the Lion King and
not just that crappy Excalibur series that came out where King Arthur's like a thief and...
yeah.
We've noticed a recurring pattern here at Dicejunkies of people wanting to take a classic story and retell it. And these crappy directors, yes, I call them all crappy directors, like to put their own spin on it. Like, King Arthur's not really a good guy, or what was another one? There's been so many.
I don't mind the retelling of classics personally if it's done well.
Hercules, the one they did with Dwayne Johnson. I love Dwayne Johnson, but they decided to tell a story where Hercules faked all of his feats and wasn't really.
Yeah.
And you're just like.
But it's done well. I don't really care.
It's kind of it's almost an off subject because it's the deconstruction of the classic hero. Frustrates me because why? Why do you feel the need to go back to these things we grew up with, these heroic stories we loved, and say, no, King Arthur wasn't an honorable man. No, Hercules wasn't a hero. No, this person was really an a-hole. It's like, it's almost a pessimistic view that's required to want to take everything that was listed as this. Oh, wow, here's a rare chance story about somebody who's actually a decent person. Screw that.
I think it comes from also a bit of a political sense. If you look, what's some of the biggest things going on right now? Taking iconic figures that there's statues of and all this stuff, digging up old dirt and basically saying, well, look, Gandhi wasn't that great of a guy. He did all this horrible shit.
Abraham Lincoln didn't really want to free the slaves. George Washington owned slaves. And I just kind of go like, you know what, man? Here's the thing. Nobody's saying people are perfect.
But I mean, it's it's not it's a bit of a statement, I think, about, hey, history is written by the winners, and it's often a glorified version of what really happened.
No, except that they're going after fictional characters, so it's not like the concept of, well, we want the truth to be known. I get that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know what? It doesn't change my opinion. I don't care why Lincoln freed the slaves. I'm just glad.
Yeah, but it doesn't change the sentiment.
Know?
It doesn't change the sentiment that stories aren't always true. Stories and reality don't always mix.
Oh, I get it, but that's just to be. But again, I have to counter with. But in this particular case, since it's already a fictional story, why must you create a fictional counter story of a flawed version of the character? He's already not real. Can't he be an honorable dude or a hero, and you not go and create a fictional deconstruction of the hero? Because the reason he's fictional is because in reality, no one's perfect.
No.
I mean, that's true.
Like I said, I get what you're saying, but I'm also saying that I think as a fictional character, it's easier to try to make your point, a statement about history not always being true. With a fictional character, you're less likely to get that immediate, you're just talking bad about somebody, idolized type thing, because we do know it's a fictional character.
I guess so, but,
hey, because I don't care. Like I said, all I want is a good story. If you can tell me a good story and it's based off of that stuff, I don't care.
That's the problem. Most of those stories suck. Like, I didn't like any of them.
No, that is the problem. I mean, the problem is most of them suck.
And that's why it annoys me, because it's like the deconstruction doesn't serve a purpose.
Like, I liked Merlin on BBC.
That was an interesting series.
And it was a retelling.
And deconstruction to a degree. Mm-hmm. Well, here's my thing. That's what annoys me a lot of this, because like I said, it's, one, you're not even telling a good story. Half the time, because I went to see these movies and went, tried to watch the King Arthur series they created recently and went, and it's like, this doesn't feel like you're telling a good story. This just feels like, once again, you're just kind of sharing your deconstruction that wasn't necessary. I mean, that's why they're fictional to me, though, because let's be honest, our real world heroes are flawed. Mm-hmm. I mean, Martin Luther King, one of the guys I idolize a lot. And, there's been some stuff I've heard, and I'm like, oh, well, might even be true, But that's why we need sometimes a story of, I'm going to tell a story about a knight. Knights at the Round Table, they're going to be honorable men. And you're like, cool, kind of nice to have a story about this honorable hero that doesn't have a catch, doesn't have a nasty twist. And then somebody goes, I'll be damned if you have a pleasant childhood. I'm going to make this a crappy story now. And you're like, really? I can't even have my fictional heroes, It's like Batman's got to shoot people now. You know what I'm saying? It's like, come on, Batman. You were that guy who didn't shoot and kill people,
Here's the thing. I mean, just I don't take any of that stuff seriously. If I have if I read the book, I enjoyed the book, just because they make a TV version of it or they make a retelling of it that I don't enjoy, it doesn't hurt the original that I read. I enjoy it. It's still there.
That's true, especially for those of us that are aware of it. But then I worry about the folks who, the younger folks who maybe that's the first time they get introduced to that story.
Then you get to slap them upside the head and tell
them
to
bullcrap, man.
Go read a book here.
Yeah, go read a book. Don't listen to his director. He apparently found out his daddy was on drugs and his whole worldview was crushed. And now he's like, there are no knights, there are no heroes. I'm gonna make this crappy series to show you. And it's like, thank you for sitting on your soapbox and wasting our time. Yeah. And whoever funded its money.
All right, let's see what Google has for us today. Okay, Google, roll me a D20.
Rolling a die with 20 faces. The result is 6.
I thought Google had lost the internet
6.
too.
Google.
The return to the 80s.
Yeah, Google went back to the 80s.
Try again.
Okay, Google. Roll me a D20.
Rolling a die with 20 faces. The result is 20. Lucky roll.
You just don't want to give me an answer.
I believe you have to pick one now, sir. I did last time. It's on you.
Okay, Google. Pick me a number between 2 and 19.
Oh, you lazy bastard.
Okay.
I will give my answer.
17.
What is your favorite video game vehicle?
Ooh, I've had some good ones of these. I had to let you go first, man, because I've just rolled through like 9 video game vehicles already. I mean, do mecha count as vehicles? Yeah, you didn't even think of that, did you? Because all of a sudden I went like, ooh, what about that big... Okay, darn.
I'm going to say no. No mecha in this one.
Okay, good. That helps me narrow it down, actually. Because, okay, you know what? I'll start since you apparently have this look on your face like, help me, Q.
Well,
I don't know what to say.
I was just going to go horrible and cheesy, but go ahead.
I'm going to go, since we've talked about returning to the 80s, I'm going to go with the first vehicle I got in the game that just blew my mind. And that will be Final Fantasy II, or Japan Final Fantasy IV, my airship. And the Red Baron song when it showed, dun, 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 like the airships made me go, it's a flying ship. I was just like, oh crap. When I got my own and the map opened up, it was just a one of a kind. It was just like amazing. I had my own airship. I can't explain how that changed the way I saw open world gaming.
Gotta say, the airship in the Final Fantasy series,
especially that first one you ever got, man.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, that first one was just like, I didn't think you'd ever get to control one because they had cutscenes you every time. And then finally, and I remember what happened is the ship goes up and I wait for it to move and it just sits there and I'm like, it's supposed to be moving on its own. Then I took the control and I was like, oh crap.
I can go.
Oh, can I land?
I can land anywhere there's not trees.
I didn't even do nothing but fly around and just land on every, just like,
Oh, no, that's the completion of the sentence. So he landed on every piece of
ground.
Searched the ground, did whatever.
Walked around until the fight happened. It's like, I gotta get a fight. What's on here?
Gotta see what's here. Make sure you save because sometimes it was like something way above you.
It's like, what's the Grim Reaper doing here? Why is he hanging out on this little chunk of dirt? Like,
but yeah, man. Oh, dang. Now I got to rethink my answer because that one
was awesome, wasn't it?
Yeah, that is one of the best answers you.
Well, like I said, I went with one of the first that you just went like, oh crap. Mm-hmm. Well, being a sci-fi guy, I really thought you were going to pull something from that genre because I don't play sci-fi games, as you know.
Yeah. Oh man, no, I was just going to make a joke about the boat on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, that horrible boat.
Oh, that is terrible, man. You are a bad person. Yeah, that's you insulting people.
Yeah. I was. Well, you brought up Doom earlier, so you insulted people first.
Hey, man, that first-person scene was mediocre. You don't even remember the scene, man, when he gets the...
Oh, yeah, no, I tried to block that movie out of my memory, because...
That may be the worst role they ever put Dwayne Johnson in. Second would be the Hercules movie. I really...
I gotta say though, something always brings me back to the good old days of playing Halo with my friends and getting in the Warthog and just running people over.
You know, from team play, the Warthog was fun. Mm-hmm. Your boy jumps in the back, and you know you're gone. And then he yells at you about your terrible driving. No, it wasn't your fault. Mm-hmm. The Warthog was made out of.
So I'm gonna go with the Warthog from Halo.
I like it. I thought about that, but then I had to go back further. But man, the tires were made out of flubber, though.
I still like your choice the best. Like, I feel like my choice is now half-assed because of yours. So
sun shines on the dog's ass. Someday. But that was an awesome 20. I think that was a good 20. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I'm still cheesing off of that. Like, I still have the glow from remembering the airship, just like. That was the best time in the game. And I couldn't top it myself. I'm sitting here like I ain't got any better.
Sid's like one of my favorite characters.
Oh, so. Man. Almost every version of Sid. Dude. Yeah. He is just freaking awesome.
So.
But I just remember, you don't know, I'm not joking when I said I sat there for almost 30 seconds wondering why the airship wasn't moving on its own. And it like just went, and so I realized I actually had my own airship. I kept thinking they were going to take it from me. I was like, if I go to the next story, they're going to take it away? Like... Is this a one-shot?
Awesome. Well, hey, that's Random Encounters. That rolls up this episode. So thanks for watching.